Welcome to Love Light with Dr. Jean Marie Farish. Today, we'll show you how to use the spirit of love and self-worth to improve the connections with everyone else in your life. This program is your weekly gift, and it will keep on giving. You'll see. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jean Marie Farish.
Greetings and a hearty welcome, everyone. I hope you're all faring well, and we are delighted for you to join us on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, shining love light into your hearts and homes to empower your life with love. Thanks to our listeners worldwide who tune in live and on demand. We have a fantastic show today. How to create an extraordinary life with Selina Maitreya. We have so much creative power, and by divine design, we are extraordinary. But unfortunately, the choice to play small is one that needs to be revisited and explored. We play small with limiting beliefs, trapped in failure, regrets, drama, and chaos. So how do we harness our divine power to create a life we love? What does it mean to live an extraordinary life? It's not about the material things we possess. An extraordinary life touches lives, inspires, and leaves the world a better place. An extraordinary life is one lived with passion, adventure, and service for the greater good. An extraordinary life is a life lived in love. For what we give, we receive. And as Henry Drummond quotes, as you look upon your life, the moments when you really lived are the moments when you've done things in the spirit of love. I just love that. And Buddha quotes, do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. We have this life to live, so make it count, make it unforgettable. Do not live the same day over and over again. Let each encounter, gifts we have, natural talents be used to live these extraordinary moments that can happen each day as we evolve mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And our guest today, Selina Maitreya, she'll show us how to create an extraordinary life. Selina has been on Love Light several times, showing us how to raise our frequency to transform our lives. A transformational agent, internationally celebrated lecturer, author, teacher of practical spirituality, she shows us how to live as authentically as possible, especially in the hustle and bustle of life. She empowers her students by showing them how to reactivate and actualize their intuitive body, their high frequency energy field to be able to respond to chaos that lands in their daily life from one of the highest frequencies: peace, kindness, compassion, tolerance, understanding, wisdom, gratitude, and grace. And congratulations are in order to Selina for her forthcoming book, Raise Your Frequency to Transform Your Life, How to Respond with Love in Life's Difficulties, a hands-on guide to cultivating a more conscious and spiritually present life. So now I am honored to welcome our outstanding guest, Selina Maitreya, on our show today, How to Create an Extraordinary Life. Selina, welcome to Love Light.
Oh, Jean, it's great to be here with you today. Thank you.
Yes, it's truly a joy, Selina, to connect with you again and for you to be on Love Light with such an inspirational episode. Selina, share some of the turning points in your life that have guided you on your spiritual journey. Were there any life experiences that inform your life?
Well, you know, Jean, as you mentioned when we started, we've been together a few times on this show. And so each time we go back into the background, there's so much more to add, which is wonderful. I became a spiritual student when I was 16, and you find me now at 68. The work began in my 30s. And that's when I started, that would be the first pivotal moment where I really started to take the spiritual practices I had been intellectually processing and brought them into my life as my GPS system, as my guidance system. So in my 30s, when I started studying with my teacher, the Reverend Janice Hope Gorman, that would have been the first. I think moving forward, when I was a single parent and I started noticing the difficulties in my life, and Spirit gave me the work which they called practical spirituality. The title speaks to the use of our spiritual practices as that guide in our daily life, making spirituality very practical. When I started using the work, that was another pivotal moment. And I know our audience can probably look at their life and see where they had pivotal moments as well. And you know that these are moments of true turning points. I'd say that the third turning point in my life was when I sold that very house, when I moved in with when I was a single parent with my children. And 15 years later, I was planning to leave the house. I had all kinds of plans in the third dimensional world. And 2 days before leaving, 2 days before closing on my house, a woman hit my car. And that was a very pivotal moment because I was left with a traumatic brain injury that took me out of my life, but opened up a whole dimension to source. So after 20 years of doing this work, of making my life my practice, living my beliefs, I had a supreme opportunity to do the graduate course in that. So those would have been pivotal moments, I believe.
Mm. Oh, that's beautiful. And you really live your practice so well in your daily life. And thank you so much for sharing your challenges and how you really use that to really inform your journey, your spiritual journey, and helping others as well. And as we look at the term practical spirituality, I know that can be so esoteric when we talk in spiritual terms. Can you give us maybe a few keys to what practical spirituality is all about?
Sure, I'd love to. I'm sure our listeners, guys, when you're going through life and you have difficulties or challenges, if you observe how you respond to them, you'll notice that you're mostly responding to low frequency events, to chaos, to somebody cutting you off on the road or taking their time, putting things on at the cash register when you're trying to rush out the door. You'll notice at different times in your life where small irritations pop up or even large ones that you're responding from that same frequency. You have fear based on what's happening. I can't get out of the store in time. Oh my God, I could have hit that person who just cut me off on the road. So our response, our conditioned response to a low frequency event, a piece of difficulty is to respond with more difficulty. But if you observe yourself, folks, in that moment of difficulty, you actually have an opportunity to shift your response. So practical spirituality is all about learning how to respond to any irritation, small difficulty, or major trauma in your life from the higher frequencies of love, from kindness, from compassion, from gratitude or grace, that you become aware of the moment of difficulty, you see the fear, and you allow that fear to be an alarm clock to inform you and remind you you have another response, which is love. And when you're practiced in that art, and I get it, guys, it takes a while, but when you're practiced in that, you're then able to shift the energy through your response. And here's the beauty, Jean, because our next moment, after experiencing anything, our next moment is what the energy we hold in that moment is what creates what we create after that. So when we're responding to a chaotic event with more chaos, we're creating our next moment in the energy of chaos. But when we learn the practice of transforming the frequency, we are able to then be in another frequency, a higher frequency, and we create the next moment from that. And wouldn't we all want to have that authority?
Yes, that's so profound. And it shows us how we are creating in each moment and how we have to be more aware in the present moment as, encountering these situations and circumstances that we do have a choice, the power of choice that can make a difference in our lives. And this brings me to our episode. What is your perception of an extraordinary life?
Well, an extraordinary life for me, and as I write in the book, is a life where we create, where we become aware, where we learn how to witness as we be. We watch ourselves as we walk through the world. We have we take our consciousness and we direct it through the act of observation. So we're watching as we be. That enables us, Jean, to notice when we're in low frequency. And with the tools that people can learn, that our audience, folks who are listening in, this is a process like any other thing we learn in the third dimensional world, any other retraining we do of our bodies or retraining we do of our minds. We're able then to shift our frequencies. So we have the final choice as to how we move through the world, being able to choose our state rather than just having our emotional body or our thinking mind create how we experience life is an extraordinary life, because it's not something that we're taught how to do in the third dimensional world. It's just the opposite of what we're taught, but we can work toward creating this agency where difficulty becomes the pathway to peace. Because if we use that difficult moment and learn how to respond to it from our higher frequencies, we become that energy. Whenever we're responding to a frequency with a frequency, we become the frequency of our response. So an extraordinary life is one where we accept responsibility and learn how to utilize any difficulty as a pathway to peace.
Wow, that's great. But Selina, many are trying to manifest their heart's desires. We hear about this all the time, strategies to manifest. But here, in the face of challenging situations and difficulties for many, it's hard to imagine living an extraordinary life. And I guess to our listeners, think for a moment, are you creating more of the same? Where are you putting your attention? Where are you putting your energy? And just as Selina mentioned, are we responding on the lower frequency level, or are we making choices? Even though we have to honor our feelings, honor where we are, but how can we lift ourselves up and move to that higher vibrational response? What are your thoughts about that? Because people are trying to manifest and really look at how they can create a life that they love.
Well, I think the first thing to understand, Jean, about manifestation in general is that we have to have a high enough personal frequency to be able to create a shift in the third dimensional world, and then have a high enough frequency to be able to hold the shift we're looking to create. And I think what happens for our audience, and you guys kind of look into yourselves and see, were there times that you tried to create a new job situation or a new partnership, or you needed to leave a home, and you did all of the practices you were told by manifestation experts, but it just didn't work? And there are many reasons why things might not have come together. But what I discover in working with my students, folks, is that 9 times out of 10, the person that is looking to manifest, in that moment, they may go to the divine, they may pray, they may put their energy out, but the rest of their life is not a representation of living in a high vibrational world. There's gossiping, there's inconsistent practices, there's having worrisome thoughts without any opportunity to clear the system. So I think it's really making sure that our life is high vibrational, because part of what we see when I see my students and myself I've been doing this work consistently now for over 25 years. It's what enabled me, my constant vigilance on shifting my frequencies, I'm certain is what's moved me through the third dimensional world challenges that come with a brain injury. I lost everything, lost my money, lost my ability to work, never knew when I would be able to work if I would. And so I could have gone down that rabbit hole and gone to worry, but I continually worked with the principles. So I think with manifestation, you guys need to look at your life and see where you are in the vibrational presence. Are you able to keep a high vibration in your life before you look to manifest? Because when we are living in high vibration, that's when we're able to manifest what we desire that much more easily and retain it.
Beautifully said. And I know in my books and teachings, it's really all about love. The masters say we're either in love or fear. So it takes practice and teachings about, what is love really? How do I stay there? How do I, love myself more to attract, on a higher frequency? And it's all about how we are being. And, I just think returning to our natural state of being, which is love, can be our practice, but it's not easy. As we face difficulties and life challenges, it's not easy, but it takes practice. But what is so beautiful that I have gleaned is that I feel better.
Yeah.
I feel better not being stuck in the low vibration, because when I'm stuck in the low vibration, I go down that rabbit hole. And the further I go down the rabbit hole, the more difficult it is to come back up. So to rise above, to try to stay in that frequency, it takes a lot of work, but you have to be self-aware, and you have to really, know what you need to do to raise your vibration. And we're going to continue more with this wonderful discussion. We're going to talk about what are some of the blocks to creating an extraordinary life. And Selina's going to share a practice to help us move forward. But I think now we're ready for a brief commercial break. So stay with us. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more on how to create an extraordinary life with our outstanding guest, Selina Maitreya, teacher of practical spirituality. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Announcing Dr. Jean Marie Farish's new book, Love Mastery Devotion Journal, 21-day weekly prompts and affirmations. This is the companion piece to Dr. Farish's best-selling book, Living in the Spirit of Love, Our Natural State of Being. Through the new book, we invite you to cultivate a lifestyle of love through daily devotional practices over a 21-day period, following 9 ingredients in the recipe of love. Love Mastery Devotion Journal, 21-day weekly prompts and affirmations, is available on Amazon.com and Balboa Press.
Jean Marie Farish's Center for Conscious Loving, LLC, cultivates a lifestyle of love and wholehearted connections through personal growth, altruistic services, and speaking engagements. Resources include classes, workshops, life care coaching, and creative service projects with an emphasis on cultural arts. Visit the website at drjeanmariefarish-consciousloving.com. That's drjeanmariefarish-consciousloving.com, or click the link on the Love Light show page.
Best-selling authors international, news honors best-selling authors around the globe. Dr. Jean Marie Farish is featured in the newly released issue of Published magazine. To have first access to this treasured resource, go to publishedmagazine.com. Vicki Winterton and Dr. Jean Marie Farish have compiled a dynamic book, We're All in This Together, Embrace One Another, an anthology with 24 highly diverse co-authors who share how to spread the message of love, resilience, inclusivity, and compassion. This book is an invaluable source of uplifting, inspiring, and positive insights for spreading positivity in the world. We're All in This Together, Embrace One Another is available on Amazon.com. Be sure to get your copy today. Dr. Jean Marie Farish is proud to announce the release of her new book, Living in the Spirit of Love, Our Natural State of Being, available now at Balboa Press. This book will help you master your life and flourish in love. You'll learn how to become a better and more evolved you. Feel good by making life-affirming choices. Deepen your feelings and expressions of love. Tune in love and sustain the change. And flourish in love and find your joy. Visit BalboaPress.com and search for Living in the Spirit of Love and enjoy Dr. Farish's new book today. Follow Voice America at Facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
You are tuned in to Love Light with Dr. Jean Marie Farish. Feel free to connect with our program through email or check out our links on Facebook. Reach Jean at Jean72Farish@yahoo.com. That's Jean72Farish@yahoo.com. And now, back to Love Light.
Well, welcome back to Love Light, Living in the Spirit of Love. And if you're just joining us, we are with our outstanding guest, Selina Maitreya. She's a teacher of practical spirituality, author, celebrated lecturer on our show today, How to Create an Extraordinary Life. And Selina, thank you so much for really highlighting this whole aspect of frequency. And can you just briefly highlight what are some of the blocks to really creating an extraordinary life?
For sure, I'd be happy to. I want to remind our audience that we're defining an extraordinary life as one where you learn a new habit and develop a new lifestyle through responding to any difficulty, irritation, or major trauma from the higher frequencies of love. So let's look at the fact that, first of all, we're creating a new habit. And one of the blocks to creating that new habit is when we're not able to be in awareness, to walk through our life watching as we be. Because if we're not watching as we be, we are just living our life and we're inside of it and we're not aware of what frequencies we're holding. That's number one. And the second block I would share with you guys, and you might want to look at this as I'm speaking and notice where inside of you do you feel you are? What are the blocks that you might be, for our audiences that are listening, what are the blocks that you might be holding or experiencing? So the second action would be not taking time out for quiet. This work doesn't require we go to meditation and do yoga all the time. It requires we use our daily life and the events. However, taking time on the pillow, being able to come out of the third dimensional world and turn your gaze inward and creating quiet and space, connecting to the higher frequencies within you is really helpful. And when people are constantly in the physical world, it's harder for them. Third block would be inconsistent actions. You've learned about this, you've learned the tools, because there is a process to shifting frequency. And once you've learned that process, not using it consistently is a block because it slows your progress. Kind of like a diet, for 4 days, you're eating what is been called for to lose the weight, to get into the shape you want. And then one day you just don't. And after that, you're not on your diet at all. So inconsistency. Also multitasking. We are trained in our world to multitask. But when you multitask, you are never present. So being able to be present allows you to witness. Being able to witness yourself gives you the opportunity to see when you're in high and low frequency. When you use your practices consistently, when you're in low frequency and you respond to difficulty from love, then you're in the flow. And that's when this whole lifestyle gets developed. So that's how the blocks would work. And that's what the flow looks like.
Very well said. And the high frequencies, examples, peace, kindness, compassion, tolerance, understanding, wisdom, grace, and gratitude. And Selina, we talk a lot on my shows about lack of self-love, lack of self-worth. Talk about the energy frequency of lack of self-love and lack of worthiness.
Well, that's such a wonderful question, and it involves so much. As you're listening, folks, see which of these resonate with you, or any of them, if they do. When we talk about the self, I'm talking about the totality, what I call the life stream. There's a body and a brain and an emotional field, an emotional body. There is the personality and the history. All of these are components of who we are. And then we have our fields, the low frequency of fear, the high frequency that Jean's been talking about, and this whole show is about, which is love. And so when we are not keeping and seeing our being in high frequency, we feel it. And that's when people will define themselves as feeling unworthy. That is a very low frequency. When we're feeling unworthy, we are out of alignment, which means we're not connected to, we're not experiencing and feeling, and our actions aren't representing love, kindness, peace, all of the different manifestations, understanding and tolerance. And when we are out of alignment with the truth of who we are, which is the high frequency energy of love, then we are completely blocked and we are needing to shift our frequency.
Beautiful. Being mindfully present, witnessing and observing ourselves. And a question to ask, is this where I'd like to be? How can I respond better to feel good now? And it doesn't mean that these situations we encounter, make us feel all gleeful or happy or whatever, but we have to understand that we do have a choice. Is my response aligned with the higher vibration? And Selina, you're going to share with us as we respond to the higher frequency of gratitude. You're going to take us through an active gratitude exercise, right?
I am, and I think this is a beautiful lead-in, because you don't need to be in the very difficult place of experiencing a lack of appreciation or love for self in order for this practice to be helpful for you. But when you are in that place where you are out of alignment with love, or you've seen yourself be dishonest, or something has happened in your life that is difficult, we always have, as Jean just said, we always have the choice of where we put our attention. And this truth is that I love so much, the spiritual truth. We are our attention, and what we put it on grows. So when you notice you're in low frequency of any kind, for any reason, the quickest way to transform, this is one of the tools I really want to share with you. So listen up, because this is an important one for you all. When you're in that low frequency, you can always go to active gratitude. Now, active gratitude isn't thinking I'm grateful. It's not engaging the brain. What it is this, and let's go through it now. So wherever you are now, don't know what you're feeling emotionally, don't know if you're tired or if you're feeling very rested. Right now, if you would, just close your eyes and engage the breath of life. The breath of life is breathing in and out through the nose, very specifically the nose, with the mouth closed, slowly, deeply, and easefully. And as the breath comes into the body, begin to put your attention completely on the rise and fall of your chest. Nothing exists except your awareness of the rise and fall of the chest. And as you continue to do this, your body will begin to relax. Your muscles are surrendering to whatever is supporting them. Below, the bones are just settling in, and the breath is continuing. And as you become more and more relaxed, begin to bring into your awareness an aspect of you that you are grateful for. Perhaps you value your kindness. Perhaps it's your loyalty. Whatever the aspect of you is, allow it to land in your awareness and feel deeply in your body this beautiful aspect of you. And as you are feeling deeply in this body, remember a time where this aspect, this generosity, this kindness, this wisdom was directed to another. See this moment in time. Feel into this moment in time. See who was there. See what was needed. See how this quality of you served another. And feel your gratitude for that. Feel it deeply, deeply, deeply in your body. And now place your attention on an aspect of your life that you're grateful for. Perhaps you have excellent health or a very supportive partner. You have a job you're passionate about. You live in a beautiful, quiet place surrounded by nature. Whatever it is, bring up, allow to land within you that which you are most grateful for regarding your life. And feel it deeply in your body. Feel the gratitude. Allow it to totally transform and deepen into your body. And begin to see how your life, and feel in your body how your life is best served by this quality that you're so grateful for. And say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you as we close out this beautiful practice where you have been taken into the higher frequencies of who you are. You have just acknowledged, you have activated the highest frequency of who you are in your life. And with that complete and done, go back to the breath of life. Activate it again within you, breathing in and out through the nose in slow, deep breaths, slowly and easefully. And as you exhale, bring the consciousness back in the body, more and more with each exhale breath, until you are back in your body and you can flutter your eyelashes, you can wriggle your toes and hands, your fingers, and come back into your body in the room that you're sitting in and get ready to listen to Jean and I as we go back into conversation. As you do that, I'm going to request that you notice how you feel. Now, this practice is very robust when you're in a state of discomfort, when you're irritated, when you're uncomfortable. But you should be feeling somewhat calmer, if not very calm, somewhat shifted, if not very shifted. So notice how you feel as we go back into conversation. Thank you, Jean.
Selina, that's a beautiful exercise. It's an in-depth exercise on gratitude, going inward, that inward journey of gratitude. I think a lot of times people say, okay, I have to make my gratitude list. I'm thankful for my home. I'm thankful for this or that. And I don't think they probably put a lot of feeling into it, but you're really directing people inward. And I love what you invited listeners to do, to really look at aspects of themselves where there were higher qualities that they can reflect on and appreciate. Mm-hmm. And think of time, think of times when you engaged in an act of kindness, an act of love, and how that was received by another. And so I love that, remembering to remember who you really are. Right?
Well, thank you. Thank you. And what I want to share that I love so much is everybody who's listening, I bet, I mean, think of this for a moment. That took us less than 4 minutes. And once again, when you're feeling when you're starting out in a difficult spot, it's going to feel a bit different, but it will feel even, the shift will be even more profound. And what's so important is this practice costs you nothing. It's not one that you ever leave behind. You don't have to remember to take it along with you. It's not an app that you're paying for. You're not going externally. You're utilizing what's already within you. So you have the power to shift your frequency. And I love that, because the only thing asked of you isn't money. It's your time and your willingness.
Okay.
And so anyone can shift their state and go to gratitude, because it never leaves us.
Yes. And I think as we talk about self-love and self-worth, we're so busy thinking we're not good enough and there's no good qualities about us. So that exercise helps us reflect on what are some aspects of you that are really positive. And remember those aspects of yourself and to be grateful for that. And, move away from I'm not good enough or there's nothing about me that I admire. So Selina is helping us focus on the good things about ourselves, the good days, the good memories, the good qualities that we have. I really love that, Selina.
I do too. And here's the important piece of that, to go deeper with that, Jean, is we are our attention, and what we put our attention on grows. So as we bring in energy and we focus on the qualities of ourselves that we love, engaging the intuitive body, our highest knowing, then we become that energy. And the more you do this practice, you become more of the energy of the light of who you are and the appreciation of that instead of the opposite. So it's very physical because it's energy.
Yes. And hence you can create an extraordinary life and be in that high vibration. I call this the feel good now practice. So we're going to continue after break, but now we're ready for a brief commercial break. We will return shortly with our amazing guest, Selina Maitreya. She's a teacher of practical spirituality, author, celebrated lecturer on our show today, How to Create an Extraordinary Life. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Dr. Jean Marie Farish is proud to announce the release of her new book, Living in the Spirit of Love, Our Natural State of Being, available now at Balboa Press. This book will help you master your life and flourish in love. You'll learn how to become a better and more evolved you. Feel good by making life-affirming choices. Deepen your feelings and expressions of love. Tune in love and sustain the change. And flourish in love and find your joy. Visit BalboaPress.com and search for Living in the Spirit of Love and enjoy Dr. Farish's new book today.
I'm Judy Satori. I'm a spiritual channel and activator of human potential. You might have heard me speaking on the Voice of America on Dr. Jean Farish's show, Love Light, because I've been speaking about the challenges that are besetting all of us right now and how we can surrender but also keep on going. I want to invite you to join my new Facebook group that is devoted to heart-centered connection and unity. Through this Facebook group, you can also join my free access question and answer session with Spirit on the first Wednesday to Thursday of every month. Just search Ascension Community on Facebook to join the group. In this session, I answer questions and transmit energy from Spirit to give you guidance and support. Because life on planet Earth ain't easy right now. And there is so much help from above, from beings of love and light, from multidimensional realities who are actually here with us, wanting to step up and support us. I welcome you to become part of our ongoing group conversation about evolutionary change and how it's affecting us as human beings and affecting our life today. Many blessings to you. You can find out more about me and my work at www.ascensionlibrary.org. Have a wonderful day.
Vicki Winterton and Dr. Jean Marie Farish have compiled a dynamic book, We're All in This Together, Embrace One Another, an anthology with 24 highly diverse co-authors who share how to spread the message of love, resilience, inclusivity, and compassion. This book is an invaluable source of uplifting, inspiring, and positive insights for spreading positivity in the world. We're All in This Together, Embrace One Another is available on Amazon.com. Be sure to get your copy today. Best-selling Authors International news honors best-selling authors around the globe. Dr. Jean Marie Farish is featured in the newly released issue of Published magazine. To have first access to this treasured resource, go to publishedmagazine.com.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
You are tuned in to Love Light with Dr. Jean Marie Farish. Feel free to connect with our program through email or check out our links on Facebook. Reach Jean at Jean72Farish@yahoo.com. That's Jean72Farish@yahoo.com. And now, back to Love Light.
Well, welcome back to Love Light, living in the spirit of love. And if you're just joining us, we are with our outstanding guest, Selina Maitreya, teacher of practical spirituality, on our show today, How to Create an Extraordinary Life. And Selina, thank you so much for sharing that act of gratitude practice that will help us raise our vibration and really feel good now. So we invite our listeners to share with others and to listen back on demand and really revisit this exercise. But Selina, many feel unfulfilled. They're looking for their purpose as if it's some far out goal. The purpose is now. You can live your purpose each day of your life with satisfaction and fulfillment. It's the simple things that we do, helping others, being loving, but most importantly, working on ourselves and loving ourselves. We are worthy. It is an inward journey of self-discovery. And from a peaceful mind, we can grow, learn, and create a life we love. And Selina, you're showing us how to raise our frequency, to be in high vibration, to attract what we desire, to create a life that we love. How does this affect us collectively?
Well, that's such a wonderful question. I want to remind us all at this point that we as life streams, this entity that we are, that I was just defining a little while ago, we are also uniquely different personalities, different body types, different emotional states, different histories, different personalities. But the one quality we all contain that is the same is the high frequency of love, the intuitive body, our highest wisdom. This is also what's called the field of oneness. And the field of oneness is literally an energetic field that not only is within each of us from the divine light that entered the body upon our first breath, but it is the energetic field that surrounds our planet, that is out in the ether of the universe. And so what happens is we are a part of that field. And every thought we hold, every action we take, not only affects us individually, but affects the field. So as people often say to me, Jean, what can I do to help the world? This is great, Selina, I'm changing me, but I want to change the world. I want to help people. I always say the most important thing, the most time efficient practice you can take on, the most impactful way to help is to shift your own consciousness. For as your consciousness increases, as your personal vibration is shifted each time you take on the practice of responding to any difficulty, and we know life gives us a lot of to practice with, each time you choose to take the time out of your day to become conscious, to shift your frequency, you are shifting the energy you're putting into the field of oneness. So the best way to help the world is to increase your own consciousness. We've heard the phrase, be the change you want to be. And it is so spot on when it comes to vibration. And that's the language we're talking about here, Jean, is we're talking about the language of frequency.
Very well said. And Selina, can you share with our listeners about your services?
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I am a teacher and I work with people who are interested in learning how to take the information, for instance, that we shared today and actually use it in their life. People who come to me are people who are on a path, who have an interest in living a more high vibrational life, but they don't know how to do that because they're deep inside their conditioning. And so I work with anyone who is interested in that. I work one-on-one teachings with students where spirit channels through me, and they don't channel to tell you about, past people who've moved on, or I'm not a psychic. This energy of oneness, the spirits, the energy field we were just speaking of, channels through me directly to the student with advice that is very individual and personalized for them at this point in their development. And the information is all about how they can walk in the physical world to become a more high vibrational conscious being. I work one-on-one. I also have groups that I run. There'll be a new group being created around the book next fall. I have a master class of students who have worked with me over the years and are now working in a group of their own. And I'm going to be going on book tours as of June around the country, 10 different places around the country. I'll be at different bookstores, but 10 different spiritual centers around the country running an all-day workshop as well. So that's what will happen in the spring.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, thank you. It is indeed called Raise Your Frequency, Transform Your Life, How to Respond from Love to Any of Life's Difficulties. And it goes into great detail about everything we talked to today. There are 10 chapters that each devoted to a different piece of how to make this transformation. You'll find teachings, you'll find practices, over 8 practices in the book that you can use then and there to start moving your energy, to start reaching higher vibrational level, to learn how to respond to difficulty from grace and kindness. So the book contains all of the information that Spirit downloaded through me over the course of 4 years to teach you how to actually take the steps that we've talked about here today. It's published by Inner Traditions, a publishing company very well thought of and known. They've been producing and publishing spiritual material for over 30 years. And it comes out in June 2024, but you can go on Amazon now and pre-order your book and make sure that it's there for you when it comes out.
Beautiful, beautiful. And we really thank you for, getting your book out. Congratulations again. And I'm sure our listeners will, as you indicated, they can go ahead and purchase the book in advance.
Absolutely. And I just want to share one thing about the book. If you get the book and you read the origin story of the book, you will learn that this book was given to me at a time when I did not have a brain to facilitate the process. So I recorded for 4 years the material. And then it was when my brain healed enough for me to type consistently, it was transcribed. So this book that teaches us how to respond to any difficulty from the higher frequencies found me in exactly that place, the largest difficulty of my life, when Spirit gave me this book. So what I did moving through the difficulties I experienced writing this book is exactly what the book talks about. And I find that really, I just wanted to share that with everyone listening in today, because everybody feels their life is so difficult and this will never help me. Well, if I had a brain injury and I still managed 8 years later to pull out a book, this is what we're talking about. There's no difficulty that's too great.
Wow, that's so encouraging, Selina. And how can listeners connect with you?
Well, thanks. I have a beautiful website called Practical Spirituality with Selina. It's Selina. I'm also on Facebook at Selina Maitreya, and I love to connect with people. I'm also on Facebook at Practical Spirituality with Selina, and I'm on LinkedIn with Practical Spirituality with Selina.
Okay. And do you have a special giveaway for our listeners?
I do. I would love to send an audio file of yet another practice. That way, you guys, you'll have 2 practices that you can access: the practice of gratitude, going to gratitude, and the breath of life. When we started the practice of active gratitude, you were breathing in and out through your nose. And that is a practice I take you in more deeply in the audio, and you can receive that by simply reaching out to me, Selina, Selina at Selina Maitreya, Maitreya.com, and I will turn around and send that audio to you. It would be my gift.
Okay. And I think you indicated Love Light for the listeners to who have tuned in to the show. They can access your practice as well, right?
Great. Yes.
Gift.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay. Well, Selina, thank you so much for being on Love Light today. This has been such an inspirational and extraordinary episode that will help people create the life that they love. We have the power to choose and transform our lives in the midst of the most challenging difficulties. And we invite listeners to connect with Selina, take advantage of the free gift offering, The Breath of Life, and to share our show with others to raise the vibration of love. So listen back on demand and tune in and, again, share our show with others. So thank you, Selina.
My pleasure, Jane. Thank you for all the work you do for all of us, darling.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. In my article published in Savannah East, 4 Universal Principles for Conscious Loving, I highlight: love yourself, live your potential, love wholeheartedly, and live by higher ideals of love. And these higher ideals of love are shared in my books, Living in the Spirit of Love, Our Natural State of Being, and the companion book, Love Mastery Devotion Journal, weekly 21-day journal prompts and affirmations. Much gratitude to the Voice America team for making this show a reality and for shining their love light around the world. My theme is each one, reach one, teach one. As you model positive behaviors, you teach others. We do not have to be stuck in old patterns and beliefs. As we learn new ways that produce positive effects, share those with significant others as a unit. You can create change for the good of the whole. It takes knowledge, commitment, dedication, and practice to transform our lives. We are powerful creators, creating each moment with our thoughts and feelings. Make self-empowering choices by elevating your frequency. Transform your life by responding with love. As you practice and embody love in your daily life, you will feel good now and create a life you love. This is Dr. Jean Marie, your Love Light host, coming to you from Voice America. And remember, an empowered self is a loving self. And keep your love light shining. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you for listening to Love Light this week. Be sure to join Dr. Jean Marie Farish again for another program next Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time and noon Eastern Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a wonderful week filled with love, self-worth, and better connections.